Here's your first look at the software that runs Apple's Vision Pro headset, visionOS. Welcome everybody to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here, and I've already given you a detailed first look live from Apple Park of what the Vision Pro hardware is really like. Everything from how the battery connects to the digital crown to the strap, all of those details. In this video, I'm going to give you a first look at what it's like to actually use the headset and what the software, visionOS, looks like for yourself before this is shipping. See, Apple has released the first developer SDK of visionOS, first beta number 1. And Apple included a device simulator so that you can actually test out your applications on your computer before you get your hands on the actual Vision Pro headset. So that's what I'm going to be showing you. I'm going to walk you through Apple's first-party apps, all the different settings that you can get into, how third-party apps will run using a browser, all of this stuff. It is very cool. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So here we are. This is what it would look like to look through like Vision Pro, but instead of this simulated version, it'd be your living room. The first thing you notice is this little caret that floats along the top. This allows you to get to some device controls as well as Control Center. The first button here will bring you back to your home screen at any time and make it disappear if you just want to see your surroundings. The next option there is going to be your environment. You're able to choose light mode, dark mode, or automatic that will change based on the room that you're in. It's kind of similar to how iOS works, but it doesn't really change all that much. Obviously things are broken in the beta form, but even just like kind of darkening the rooms and the environment that are around you. Then we have Control Center. You have everything that you'd expect to find in Control Center, such as device toggles, airplane mode, your Now Playing widget, volume controls, Do Not Disturb, and others. Then we have a feature called Guest Mode, and I think this is very, very cool. When you choose this option, it'll let you set a passcode for your Apple Vision Pro, and it'll last for 5 minutes. You can pass off your Vision Pro to a friend, a family member. They can put it on within 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, the password will expire, but within that 5 minutes, they can enter that passcode and then use the Vision Pro for themselves in this guest mode, where they don't have access to all of your stuff. They can't see your messages or your photos, anything like that, but they're running in this kind of siloed guest mode. This is going to be huge because if you're buying a Vision Pro, there's people who are probably going to want to try it out for themselves, and I love that Apple thought of this and built it in right into visionOS to have this shared experience with other people. Then of course there's font sizes, there's AirPlay options, and universal spotlight search. Going back one more time up to that caret, the last option is for Notification Center. Any notifications that come in right now, we ain't got nothing, but they would live there. So that's the notification control center of Vision Pro and visionOS. Let's go ahead and jump into Safari. So it looks basically like Safari does. You have these little icons down at the bottom that allow you to close the window that turns into an X, or you can grab the bar and move it around. And it's also very easy to resize these windows too. Once you decide that you really want to go somewhere, you can go up to the search bar here at the top. Of course, here, especially in the simulator, it's kind of annoying because I keep hitting that little caret to open up Control Center. There is an on-screen keyboard that you can use and just type with your fingers to enter an address where you want to go, say AppleInsider.com. Of course, you can connect a Bluetooth keyboard to Vision Pro as well if you want to go that route. So here we are inside AppleInsider.com, and it looks like exactly how you would expect it to look like if you're looking at it on your iPhone, iPad, or Mac. Besides your keyboard, you do have access to the emoji keyboard too. So you can go through, choose any of your emoji, whether you're messaging, writing something, whatever it may be. So here we can go ahead and jump around. Let's go ahead and look at a video real quick. So we're going to move over to the video page. I will say in the simulator, it's a pain in the butt to scroll. It's really easy when you're actually using Vision Pro and you can just kind of flick with your fingers, but here you have to slowly drag and push with the cursor, and it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. But here's my hands-on that I did earlier at WWDC with the actual Vision Pro in person, and it's really cool how you can just play this video right here, and then when you hit full screen, it jumps out into its own little window. You can see how large this is compared to the TV that's sitting behind it in the simulated living room. And of course, you can always make this bigger or smaller if you want to do that, and you can black out the rest of the room so you don't see the lights and everything else that's going on. All that can be kind of hidden and just feels like a much more immersive experience. Other than that, we can go back to Safari. You can tap on the plus button to add additional tabs to Safari. So there's tabbed Safari here on Vision Pro. Besides tabs, you can open new windows if you would like to. So we tap on the window button there, pull up all open windows that you have, and you can add new tabs or open new windows. So let's go ahead and pull up a second window. We're going to go to a new URL. I'm going to click onto that caret for the 50th time while making this video. And let's head over to Twitter on here. Of course, hopefully there's a native Twitter client. But for right now, we're going to go into the browser. If I grab those bars at the bottom, you can see how we can move between multiple windows here in visionOS. I can just move between, and the one that's not active is a little bit more faded. The opacity is dropped down a little bit, so you can kind of see more of the surroundings, and your focus is pulled to one window over the other. If they're fully separated, they have the same opacities, but it still makes it clear which one you're actively using. There in the lower right hand corner, you can see how we can resize these things, so you can make them bigger, smaller, however you need to work with multiple windows at once. And you can move these above and below for this kind of like curved look, like you're using a bunch of like angled monitors. It's really neat. I just really dig the entire environment that Apple has built here with the visionOS for the Vision Pro. Outside of Safari, there are other apps that we can go ahead and check out. For example, we can jump into Photos. It feels, again, kind of like it does on an iPad and iPhone. Down the left-hand side, we have things like Memories, All Photos, Albums, Panoramas, which are especially cool here on Vision Pro. You can move between all these different organizers down at the bottom, and you have sharing options there in the top right-hand corner. If we move down to just kind of like the all ones, not the library or the memories, we can pull up photos that I have saved to my Vision Pro here. We can swipe between them, look at all these nice, glorious photos in just wonderful definition here on Vision Pro. It's super cool. There, if you tap on the ellipsis, you have those copy, duplicate all of those, or opening the share sheet and sharing it how you would. Whether you're going to copy this into something, you can pull this into third-party applications for Vision Pro, everything that you would expect to do. So let's go ahead and we can get out of photos here, down there at the bottom. Oh, I also wanted to mention there are hover effects with things. So if you don't know what something is, you can always hover, and there's those neat little tooltips that can pop up and expand. It's a very fluid, natural feeling operating system. Freeform is one of the few apps that seem like they're built for visionOS, similar to Photos and Safari is. This really feels like a native application versus just iOS or iPadOS that has been ported or just kind of working natively here on visionOS. Same thing with Files. It feels like this was kind of baked for this, even though there's not a lot going on. It's a pretty simple application, but there is local storage and a file manager here with Vision Pro. Apple also has this folder called Compatible Apps, and I want to point out there's extra apps listed here, like books and podcasts, and there's also stocks and clock, yet when you actually open the folder, none of them are in there. I expect we'll see them by the time we actually get to launch, but right now, they're not there. These apps seem like they are ones that are built for other platforms that run here on visionOS. And Apple said that many iPad and iPhone apps will work just simply by re-encoding them, and they'll just, boom, pull up, work fine here on visionOS. And that's what I think these apps are. They're compatible with it, but they haven't been built natively for it. And there's a couple things that you can note that are kind of apparent about that. So if we go ahead and open another one of these, like News, on the top right-hand corner, there's this little icon that is kind of like a crop-looking icon. That's actually to rotate the aspect ratio, similar if it was running on your iPad. So whether you want this in landscape mode or vertical mode, it's less about kind of free form changing of the size and more about those different aspect ratios. So it's clear that some apps have just been ported over and other apps are more native to the Vision Pro. Besides the app view, we have a couple other options here on the left-hand side of your home screen. So the second option is People. So these could be any FaceTime calls you've had recently. They will show here, allow you to jump directly into those FaceTime calls or different people that you have bookmarked. Then there are the different environments. This is where you can feel like you've been transported. You're playing a game, watching a movie in any of these many environments. So there's a ton of them here, between skies to beaches, Joshua Tree. There's a lot, and they're really cool. And these will fill your view, kind of hiding the room from you until someone appears maybe next to you. But it's quite cool to actually try out. So that's kind of it for visionOS. This is what we have so far. It's very exciting to see Apple's look at what a mixed reality, augmented reality, virtual reality headset is like. I know developers are already hard at work coming up with their apps to bring to Vision Pro, and I think it's going to be a very robust offering by the time this actually launches in the first half of 2024. So that's it. That is the first look at Apple's visionOS for its Vision Pro mixed reality headset. Obviously, there's still ways to go. Apple's going to be adding more features, more first-party applications, and a lot more things by the time the Vision Pro actually starts hitting store shelves sometime in early to mid 2024. Let me know what you guys think of Vision Pro and visionOS down below in the comments or on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. Otherwise, stay tuned. I've got a lot more videos coming your way.